Most people think they are manifesting their future, but neurologically, emotionally, and energetically, they're rehearsing their past. And the brain cannot tell the difference. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another video. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we talk about bettering ourselves from the inside out. So if bettering yourself is something you're into, then hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video with me. I've recently been talking a lot about the quantum field, basically what it is and how to use it. In this episode, we're talking about how your thoughts and your emotions are not private. They're signals. They're training your brain, conditioning your nervous system, and interacting with the field every single day. Once you understand this, you're not going to continue blaming your circumstances. You're going to start mastering your inner world. So I've broken this down into sections. So, section 1. Your brain is a prediction machine. Neuroscience tells us that your brain is not designed to perceive reality. It's designed to predict it. Your brain is always asking. It's always asking what's familiar, what's going to happen next, and what keeps me safe. And then it filters your perceptions and your behaviors to match those predictions. So what this means is that if your brain is constantly predicting rejection, that's what it's going to notice. If your brain is constantly predicting that it's unsafe and it can't be in a certain environment, that's what's going to come to the forefront. That's the filter. It's based off of how you perceive the world and how you behave in this world. And the same with the positive. If your brain predicts opportunity, it's going to notice opportunity. Let's say you have two people. They go into this work meeting. Okay, one is very, very optimistic. They feel like everything works out for them. They're noticing opportunity. They walk in, they hold their head high, they have confidence, and they say, "Hello, my name is Danny. Nice to meet ya." Blah, 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 blah. They have this idea in their mind that my brain notices opportunity. My brain notices abundance. My brain notices all the good things that come to me without even trying. That's what it notices and that's what it's going to perceive. Therefore, that's what I'm going to get. Then on the other hand, if you have the other person who walks in, has no trust that they can handle what's going to happen. They are very nervous. They have a limiting self-belief. They feel like nothing ever good happens to them. They're not going to get as many opportunities, if any, because they're already noticing the lack. They're already noticing that their energy and their confidence is dwindling because that's the energy that they notice. That's what their brain is perceiving. This is the exact same room, but each person has a different filter for their brain. Section 2, thoughts create electrical patterns. Every thought fires neurons, but repeated thoughts wire neural pathways. And this is something that you're going to have to really think about, because if you have the same consistent thought every single day, that pathway, that neural pathway is very strong. It's, as Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, he talks about it as a well-driven road, right? If there's, let's say you take this road and the path is just really worn in. It's easy to go down it because the path is already worn in. But if you have this other road over here and it's not worn in at all, it's going to be a lot harder to choose that path. But in order to get to the destination, you have to choose that path. So if you think, I'm behind, I'm not ready, this is always happening to me, you are literally building neural circuits for that identity. The brain becomes very efficient at what you repeat. And this is why it's so important to start reframing things and build new neural pathways. Practice is going to become your personality. So once you start paying attention to this and you start thinking, wow, I really am the type of person who always thinks nothing really works out for me, or I don't have enough money to dress this way or to live this way, or I don't have enough money to go on vacation. Those thoughts, those negative beliefs, they're not doing anything for you. It's just digging that path in deeper for this negative neural pathway. What you need to do is you need to be very, very aware of what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself, because that electrical pattern is real and you want to be able to change it to something that's working for you and making your brain understand and perceive and notice the good in life versus some negative old story that's been dug as a rut into your mind. Section 3, emotions anchor those patterns into your body. Thoughts alone are weak. Emotions are what's going to make something stick. Emotions release neurochemicals, dopamine, cortisol, serotonin, oxytocin. And these chemicals are going to teach your body what feels normal. So if you're emotionally rehearsing things like stress or lack or unworthiness, even subconsciously, your body becomes addicted to those states. And then it seeks to justify them, to really make them valid and make them real. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about how we really get addicted to those negative chemicals, that whole little concoction. We really get addicted to these negative thoughts. And this is why it's so important to build those new neural pathways and to really change things up and make them different. The body becomes the memory of the mind. Section 4. Your emotional state is a signal to the field. Your emotional state is not just internal, it's informational. This is what's going to tell reality. This is what's going to tell your reality. This is who I am. This is what happens for me. This is what I was made for. This is what's normal to me. And reality is going to respond accordingly. So this is why it's so important to get out of that lack. Get out of that feeling of this is not going to happen for me, nothing ever works out for me, because it's broadcasting to the quantum field, don't give me anything, nothing works out for me. And this is not because the universe or the quantum has it out for you or they're judging you. This is because coherence attracts coherence. Like attracts like. This is not a moral rule, this is a vibrational rule. We want to pay attention to how we are vibrating, what level of frequency we're at. Because if we're very low, that's all that's going to be around us. That's all we're going to attract. That's what our environment is going to, everything around us is going to be. It's going to be very negative. It's going to be very stressful. It's going to be very just nasty. So you want to pay attention to that. We're going to change up our neural pathways and we're going to start believing positive things. Remember, if you're putting out into the world that you suck, that life sucks, that you're always broke, that you can't lose the weight, your people always cheat on you, whatever the situation is, my boss hates me, I have a terrible relationship with my children. If you're putting that out there, even subconsciously, where you're not actually saying it out loud, if that's something that you really believe, because your emotion is going to stick to that belief, the emotion is going to take the belief, it's going to bind it together, and it's going to really hold on to it in your brain. And this is going to become something that you internalize that can become a whole slew of different things, whether it's, problems with your body or just anything like that. But the main thing to remember here is that when you are thinking those things and vibrating so low with these negative thoughts, that's what you're going to continuously get. It's going to prove to you that you're right. This is what you are. This is all you believe you are. You're not going to get anything better because the universe, the quantum, is going to give you exactly what you are. Like attracts like. Section 5. Why you keep manifesting the same pattern. This is because your system is trained for these patterns. Not because you want them, not because that's what you deserve, but because that is what is familiar. Your nervous system is going to choose familiar pain over unfamiliar peace every single time until you teach it something new. And this is what I love about the fact that we are in 2026 now, right? We're so fortunate to be here, and we're so fortunate to have so much information just right here at our fingertips. We can pick up our cell phone and we can Google, how do I regulate my nervous system? We can pick up our phones or go on our computer and type in YouTube and be like, how do I regulate my nervous system? How do I find better beliefs? There is a life coach everywhere. You look at one person on the internet, guarantee you they're a life coach. So finding quality life coaches is going to be something for you to look into. My point being is that there's an abundant amount of information and knowledge and tools that we can use in order to shift our patterns out of these old negative self-habits, deprecating beliefs, all of these bad negative thoughts. We can change those. We can retrain our brain to think better, positive thoughts. So that way we can welcome in abundance and blessings and all of the good things that we know we should have. Section 6, what to do instead. Number 1, we're going to interrupt old patterns. This is going to happen when you start thinking those nasty thoughts, those negative thoughts. We're going to pause anytime you might have self-criticism, any type of negativity, stress, or spiraling. We're going to pause. There are a couple things you could do. You can take a deep breath. You can jump up and down. You can literally mentally tell yourself no as loud as you can in your mind. There are many things you can do. Find a way to pause and interrupt those thoughts. Tell yourself, nope, that's not me. I didn't say that. I don't believe that. This is going to be a huge deal for you, because when something is easy and it just flows and it flows, it's going to keep you in that same position. There's nothing to change it, right? But if you interrupt these thoughts, and as soon as you notice any stress or spiraling or any type of self-criticism, you tell yourself, no, this is not me. This is not what I believe. You can shift it right there. You can say, instead, I decide to believe this. Or you can just simply say, no, I don't believe that. I'm not taking that on. Number 2, regulate your nervous system. And this is going to be the deep breathing, relaxing your shoulders, because sometimes when we get stressed, our shoulders, they tend to rise. You tend to clench your jaw and maybe make a mad face, and your shoulders are all tense and you're just in this ball of anger. And when we finally get to regulate our nervous system and you feel into your body, for that moment when you notice yourself and you notice that you're feeling a little dysregulated, and we spoke about this in the last video, but you put your hand on your chest and your other hand on your stomach, and you just take really nice, slow, deep breaths, making sure that your exhale is longer. This is going to immediately relax you. Once you feel yourself becoming more regulated and you're feeling a little less stressed, things like that, in this moment after these deep breaths, then you're going to choose a future emotion. Confidence, fun, gratitude, safety, whatever it is, pick one and feel into it. This is going to help you for the next step. Number 4, rehearse your future self emotionally. Now, we've spoken about this before in the last video as well, is that when you do feel into this gratitude or this joy or this fun, that's who your future self wants to feel like. That is the emotion your future self wants to give off and embody. So why not start now? So start thinking into the times where you did feel the most joy, the times where you did feel the most gratitude, where you had a moment of fun. Feel into that emotionally. And number 5, act in alignment at least once per day. So even if you can only get to do this once per day, eventually it's going to feel so good. You're going to want to continuously do it and finally build up that momentum to step into this and to embody your future self. Someone who has more positive neural pathways, thinks about themselves very highly, and has a regulated nervous system, and the quantum blesses. What we're not going to do. Do not visualize from desperation. Nobody likes anybody who's desperate. The desperate energy pushes things away. So you don't want to do any type of visualization from any type of desperation. Don't want to affirm things that you don't emotionally believe. This is by saying I'm a millionaire and you feel like you could barely keep yourself above water. This isn't going to work because emotionally you don't feel like a millionaire. So you're going to have to find things that are closer to what you actually feel, what your brain can actually take on. Don't force positivity over nervous system dysregulation. You don't want to be this toxic positive, like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. You really need to give yourself a moment to get out of your head and into your body, because that's where the regulation is going to come into play faster. And you don't want to wait for motivation. You want to build coherence. And we know that emotional coherence is when your emotions, your thoughts, your nervous system, everything is in alignment with one another. So once that happens, it's going to be easier for you to change these thought patterns and things like that. And that is something that I know you can do. So as we finish up this video, I just want to remind you that you're not broken. Your brain is just trained this way, and anything can be retrained. You don't manifest by wanting, you manifest by becoming. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you learned a little bit more about the quantum. Don't forget to get your copy of my book. It's called Full of Yourself, A Guide to Becoming Your Most Audacious Self. It's available on Amazon, and I will link it in the description box below. I will put my Instagram right here on the screen, so you can DM me there if you have any questions or you just want to say hi. I would love to have a conversation with you there. In the next episode, we are talking about identity shifting and timeline jumping, and how to step into a completely new version of your life. So again, thank you so much for watching my video. And until next time, love yourself boldly and live audaciously. Bye.